Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the privacy edition with a little hair of security towards the end. Today we're talking about the spy who sold me. But we will get there. We will get there indeed. But first, there is an update in the Google Chrome Incognito mode lawsuit. The judge rules that a $5 billion Incognito mode lawsuit can go forward. I'm sorry, guys. I have to completely side with Google this time. It's like, but Incognito mode, they can still track me across the internet. No kidding, you moron. If you actually read the little thing that pops up on in privacy mode, it just prevents people from being on the computer, from seeing what you're on the computer. It's just local privacy. It's not privacy from the internet. Do you think that Google Chrome would bake something that gives you privacy from the internet into it and not it's cognitive dissonance to think that, oh, there is this mode that you cannot be tracked around the internet. We just have to intentionally use it. No. I wish there were. That'd be epic. But there's not. That's why I recommend LibreWolf these days. That is a good way to not track you across the internet. But anyway, this is just an update. The suit seeks at least $5 billion or $5,000 per violation for likely millions of users. I'd take a $5,000 check from Google. Unfortunately, I just don't use Google Chrome and have not used Google Chrome's incognito mode, so I probably don't consider myself a member of this class for the lawsuit. But the lawsuit basically says Google promises consumers they can browse the web privately and stay in control of the information users share with Google. To prevent information from being shared with Google, Google recommends that a consumer need only launch a browser such as Google Chrome, Safari, Microsoft Edge, or Firefox in private browsing mode. Both statements are untrue once users undertake either or both of the aforementioned step. Google continues to track, collect, and identify their browsing data in real time in contravention of federal and state laws on wiretapping and in violation of consumers' right to privacy. We actually don't have consumers' rights to privacy in the United States. That is the biggest fundamental problem. Okay, FYI, the right to privacy is not from a company. It's not from your snoopy neighbor. It is from the government. Just an FYI, a little bit of civics lesson for you, but the amendments, the rights, all these things are not dealing citizen to citizen as much as they are citizen to government. So I'm not sure that's going there. So here's the screen. You've launched now you can browse privately and other people who use this device won't see your activity. However, downloads and bookmarks will be saved. That is what the point is. Chrome won't save the following information: your browsing history, cookies and site data, information entered in forms. Your activity might be visible to the websites you visit, your employer or school, your internet service providers. So that is really what the text is all about. The case is moving forward, and we will see if there's any update in the future. So another, this is actually the second one of these. I thought this was an update, but no, it's actually a second company. There is yet another company called Sky Global that was selling encrypted phones, and they were taken out because they were basically racketeering charges for helping to in the criminal enterprises of engaging in legal activity in the state of Oregon, or other things that the government would kind of like to see, and they're like, wait, you developed a phone that's too good. We can't get around it, so let's just arrest you instead. And so the Department of Justice announced an indictment against Chief Executive Officer of Sky Global. I believe he's from up in Canada, but they tracked him down on horseback with the mounted police up there, and So they allegedly selling their devices to help international drug traffickers avoid law enforcement. So the indictment is rare in that it marks only the second time DOJ has filed charges against an encrypted phone company, and signals that the Department of Justice will continue to prosecute the heads and associates of companies that say cater deliberately to facilitating criminal acts by providing encryption. Guys, this is the war against encryption yet alone coming on down the pipeline. I will remind you, encryption is so critically important. Okay, I have encrypted files on here, not because, ooh, there's bad, evil, wicked, illegal stuff. No, I would just like to prevent any burglar from coming into my house, from walking away with my computer and being able to access my banking software and passwords. Okay, you get rid of encryption. I can no longer use KeePassXC or any other encrypted means to keep my password safe. And we all know how perfect that the government handles everything because, they're even like the government is so incompetent. Like, look at China was still using Flash past its expiration date. The government in South Africa just re-hacked a browser to reinstall Flash to upload files to the South African version of the IRS. And we want to trust the government with our security? No, give me encryption or give me death. Okay, let's go, guys. Let's make this serious. But this phone company is there, and there was actually a statement from in another article I read. He's basically like, yeah, we just want to provide encrypted stuff, but whatever. Well, Tinder will now let you run a background check on matches and to screen for past crimes and violence. I wonder if it'll also include, like, who'd you vote for? Oh, you voted for Orange Man Bad. Oh, get away from me. Okay, so basically all it requires you to run this is a phone number and a last name, or even like a full name. And this is a connection with this nonprofit group called Garbo. And Garbo sounds like a whole lot of Garbo to me. I'm telling you what, guys. I would like to see where are they collecting their data from, and I would like to make it illegal for them to share that data with anybody, because I have never opted to do business with them, and this is why we need consumer privacy rights that we do not have in this country. And if you think that the bills for consumer privacy are going to help, no, they don't do anything. They do nothing at all. They're basically just the same privacy policy every company has on a federal level. It basically doesn't do anything. So there you go, guys. So Garbo will provide some background checks for people on Tinder to make sure that, you know, you're not a past criminal, you didn't vote for Orange Man Bad, or maybe make sure you've been vaccinated. You've got the pricks, so you can go ahead and do it. But don't forget, according to Rachel Levine, you still need to wear a mask if you're engaging in multiple forms of sexual activity with people outside your immediate household. Yes, there's actually a policy from that creature that they are considering putting in office simply because the person is confused in their head about genders and stuff. So moving on, companies can silently reroute your text to hackers for as little as $16. Isn't that exciting? Guys, this is exactly why I have told you, do not use your phone SMS for anything. Nothing at all, guys. Use it to call your buddy and say, the door's open, bro. Hey, when you coming by? Don't be using this to tie in, of course, our wonderful government. They require you to have a cell phone connecting with a phone, an SMS messenger app in order to get it. So this actually works fairly easy. For $16, basically you can have this add-on, which allows you to reroute a copy of texts going to somebody else over to you, and you can even reply to them. Isn't that epic? I wonder how many people are using this to stalk on their exes or something. Oh, I'm going to see all your texts coming here and there. So Joseph Cox, the motherboard reporter, had someone successfully carry out the attack on his number. It only cost the attacker $16. When he contacted the other companies providing SMS redirection services, some of them reported they had seen this sort of attack before. So they were working with this company to reroute the text. Basically, it's a man in the middle, intercept them, send them back on in other places. Thank you for that, Quantum Alpha. Very wonderful thing there in the Discord server. It's going to be distracting me until we're done with the news. Let me move that down before I can have a good laugh at it and tell you guys all about it if you're not on Discord. So anyway, TikTok will now make personalized ads mandatory. Guys, you know, it was about 2 years ago when I warned you guys about the company of TikTok. Before anybody even heard of TikTok, I warned you. I did a video. It was a Saturday stream. And I said, guys, you got to avoid this company. It's called TikTok. They're owned by this this firm called ByteDance. And what ByteDance does is they are a data harvester, analytics, and AI company. Their entire purpose is to use TikTok because we are brainlessly giving our data to every app that comes out, and we're brainlessly dumping all of our data into TikTok, which is a Chinese data collection and analytics firm, which focuses on utilizing AI to find patterns on personalities. We are giving them this data. We are letting them harvest it. We are letting them analyze it. We are letting them deploy it to AI. That's all in those terms. Did you know that? So now they are going to make personalized ads mandatory on April 15th. So I don't know, April 15th. What's worse, personalized ads mandatory or taxes are due? I'm going to go taxes are due because all of us have to die and pay taxes, but only the foolish of us use TikTok. So there you have it. And this basically applies to the app. Mostly there's speculations because of the iOS 14.5. This allows you, basically allows them to not fall behind. So there you have it. And finally, cars have our location, but this spy firm wants to sell it to the U.S. military. Isn't that glorious? So this is a company, the Ulysses Group, and basically what they do is many of your various cars and car parts, particularly your newer cars, have all sorts of a variety of different things that are constantly reporting back home. They're checking home. They're giving us all of this information. They're basically just passing all the info up wherever. And this company just goes around and scoops up all of this data, and they have a live active database about where the vastest majority of cars in the world happen to be at any given time. And then they are wanting to sell this data to the government. As of this time, they have not yet done so. However, this company has had government contracts in the past, and it does appear that they are involved in negotiations to discuss it. So, surveillance contract that has previously sold services to the U.S. military is advertising a product that it says can locate the real-time locations of specific cars in any nearby country on Earth. Except, by the way, it can't find them in North Korea and there's North Korea and there's one more. It might be listed in here. Anyway, because yeah. And I don't think it's China. Korea, North Korea and Cuba. Two countries we all just aspire to be like, which is why the Marxists are taking over America. So Ulysses can provide our clients with the ability to remotely geolocate vehicles in nearly every country except North Korea and Cuba on a real-time basis. The document written by the contractor, the Ulysses Group, reads, currently we can access over 15 billion vehicle locations around the world every month. Guys, are you allowing your insurance company to see where you are with that GPS box? I did a video about that. Didn't get a lot of views, but I did an amazing video about that because the insurance company that I use started pushing this type of stuff out. And I've been telling you guys, all their marketing, use this and save money. Right there, black and white, I read you from the policy documents. If you use this service, it could cause your rates to go up as much as 20%. Here we are, the dorks watching all the marketing stuff. Ooh, I'm going to save 10 to 15% by putting this GPS tracker in my car and let the insurance company know everything I'm doing, where I'm going, when I'm driving, how fast I accelerate, how fast I slow down. And I think that this might save me money. No, it's going to cost you money, actually. And by the way, if you use the box past 30 days, use the box past 30 days, and then you decide, no, this isn't for me, they will just jack up your rate to the highest rate possible as if you were driving like a mad lunatic. By the way, guys, read your documents. Read your documents. So there we have it. So oh boy, here's some nice maps. There you go. Woohoo, look at all that. Yeah, we can see where our cars happen to be. And this is why I have a big problem with all these cars collecting the data, why I have a big problem with all this, and why we need consumer privacy laws. This type of thing should be completely illegal, but it's not. The Ulysses Group is going to make billions on knowing exactly where your car is, and half of y'all because you're keeping all these devices turned on at all times anyway. So, there's that. Well, if you want to help support the channel, have a look at my affiliates. Today we are highlighting ExpressVPN. If you are in need of a VPN, this is one of the best ones out there. You can use this to secure your connection. If you're working from a coffee shop, you can change your geolocation. Maybe you can prevent your ISP from seeing what you're doing. ExpressVPN does not keep logs. You can connect up to 5 devices, and there is specific device or specific software pass-through. So if you want to make sure something goes through on ClearNet and everything else goes through on the VPN, you can do that with ExpressVPN. Head on over, use my link, tlm.li/EV to get your VPN set up today. Let's have a brief look at some security now. So first up in security, FaceTime bombardment group call spam. So apparently some guys have been spamming people with giant group calls because you can't block the number, like all the numbers come through. You have to go through and manually block the numbers. And so they're basically doing this at like obscene hours of the day as well. And then, some people are getting caught by surprise, and really the only fix is to turn it off, disable the app, or block all numbers, but those aren't really viable solutions. Then you have this person here, which makes me question their parenting skills. I got my first FaceTime spam starting 4 days ago. One user reported to the Apple support forum earlier this month. It has been nonstop, over 300 numbers blocked so far. My 3-year-old daughter has been accidentally answering them and going on video without a t-shirt on. Okay, why is your 3-year-old have access to your iPad? Why is your 3-year-old running around without a shirt on? Okay, let's just go ahead and address these parental issues first. And then we can talk about the propriety of FaceTime. But apparently, this has become a really bad thing. Anybody out there using FaceTime that have experienced this? Really? No real good solutions at this point in time. And this is what happens when you perpetually allow everyone to have things. And another reason not to use these various services all the time. Too easy to exploit. Exchange email hack. Hundreds of UK firms. Like, if you've not been following this, Exchange is like... Exchange email server is basically, it's been one giant hole into the dark underground for quite a while. And I'm pretty sure that everybody's been compromised because of this one at this point. So cybersecurity firm Asset said more than 500 email servers in the UK may have been hacked, and many companies are not even aware that they are victims of the attack. Governments around the world warn organizations to secure their systems, but some experts fear it may be too late, as at least 10 hacking teams are capitalizing on the chaos, which are mostly zero-day exploits. Wait, how are 10 different hacking groups aware of the zero-day exploit? We don't even know. Well, you know what, Microsoft? If you open up your source code a little bit, maybe some of us guys who know about source code can audit your stuff and spot your vulnerabilities before it happens. This is legitimately why open source software is generally better than closed source stuff, because we're not going to have 10 different groups all knowing about the zero-day exploits that nobody else knows about, because the code is being audited on a regular basis. But anyway, I digress. These are various zero-day hacks, and these have just been going nonstop. Pretty much Exchange is screwed at this point in time. Probably best to jump off of that, but who knows? And then a lot of it boils down to the companies and who's managing it, and do they have their servers updated and all these types of things. I mean, there is so much coming out about this. I can't even begin to get to the bottom of it. But a lot of these belonging to China, who, if you just missed it, did just tell the United States you're not really in a position of power to do anything. So go figure, on American soil too. Isn't that exciting? But anyway, right, so now those affected to patch immediately, and then painstakingly check for any recent compromises to make sure no web shells are installed. Of course, all this is happening when companies really treat their IT staff really poorly. They're just like, we don't need extra computers. We don't need extra backups. We don't need all this. What are you charging us for? This? Just a thought. If you would like to have your systems not compromised, pay your IT staff and get competent people in there who know exactly what they're doing. Of course, even with this, a lot of this is just because nobody can see the source code. Microsoft is like, hey, use our source code, man. It's secure. Yeah, of course, we've laid off all of our security. We've laid off all of our QA. We're just a shell of the company we were, but we're just relying on all the ad revenue coming in from spying on, stealing on all of your data and stuff like that. So this is why I host my own email, guys. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And Project Zero talks about a lot more exploits. This actually goes back into October of 2020. And they're talking about a lot of 0 days that have been used to compromise Android, Windows, and iOS attacks. Appears to be the next iteration of a campaign identified over a year ago, back in February 2020. So here they're just kind of summarizing some of the various exploits. I'm not a security guy per se, so you have to have a look at what all this is. The point I want to make here is that all of these systems are compromisable. All of these systems are easily hackable. These are 0 days that are being used. So even if you have the most recent up-to-date computer patches on all of your devices, you're still vulnerable to these. This is why, the point I want to make here isn't talking about the news as much as making this key point. This is why I don't want stuff online. This is why I want to keep as much of my life offline as possible. This is why I resist all of these pushes to do it online. It's so easy. It's so convenient. Every time we make our life easy and convenient, there is a paycheck we've not yet seen. And the paycheck looks like this. It looks like 0-day exploits that can get into every system we're using, can access all of our data. These are the things that are dangerous. This is why you need to have offline services. This is why you need to have a platform that does not rely on all sorts of external servers and cloud connected devices and all this type of stuff. It's dangerous for our society. That's what I want to leave you with. If you want to read through these articles, then I will have these all linked in the description down there. But there's a lot of 0-day exploits being used. These were all found by Project Zero, which is Google's security team. Well, you can help support the channel over on Patreon, patreon.com/TOMM. This supports all 3 of my channels: Linux technology, Christian studies, and writing and publishing, which I have not done for a little while, and I probably will not do for a little while yet until the massive project I'm working on right now is done. Whew, and I'm getting tired. But nevertheless, you can have a look over on Patreon, patreon.com/TOMM, and you can help support us over there. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.